Thank you for watching Olga Media. Hello, this is Olga Media. As you know, Olga Media supports technology, culture, and people. I support you and give you fresh of the fresh. With any Canada's organization, we have Jessica Hubley here, the organizer, together with Twitter, great event which coming up on September 22nd here in San Francisco. Would you please tell us more about that?
So we've had this amazing year with Annie Cannons because of the support of a few generous individuals who had faith in what we thought was a pretty innovative concept, but was totally unprecedented. We've been able to take a pilot group of human trafficking survivors that were living in shelters and train them in actually full stack development in some cases. So we're going to have a celebration of their achievements. So we're actually going to demo some of the products that they've built, have a great public launch for them, and then talk a little bit about what's coming up next with our new class at the Alameda Family County Justice Center in Oakland. So I'm pretty excited.
And I know that just today somebody was talking about if we can make movies about homeless people. And I said, how about talk to Jessica? She is working with them and she knows how to take care of them. Can you tell us more? When did you start it and how the whole idea came to you?
Yeah, so basically this started at a shelter in Myanmar, where my co-founder and I were interviewing survivors for a totally different project. She was working at Stanford at that point. I was working as a lawyer, and we realized that everybody's story boiled down to the same sort of four things. They had been made vulnerable by some circumstance totally outside of their control, conflict, displacement, or orphan, or something like that. They had been desperately looking for work, trying really hard to work. They had met someone that they thought they could trust for good reason. They'd gone to school with them, what have you, and then they ended up exploited. And it occurred to us that what they really needed was a job, that a job would have completely gotten in the way of that trafficking. And my co-founder had worked with the San Francisco Police Department on their human trafficking task force here and said the same thing was true here. If there was an economic opportunity, the trafficking wouldn't have happened. And so what we decided to do was to find the best fit, to give a quick economic opportunity that didn't depend upon background education or social status in the first place. And we were here surrounded by technology, and we see these boot camps popping up, and we see amazing generosity from tech companies and boot camps saying, we'll give you our curriculum if you want to use it to help these people recover their lives. And that's what we did.
Well, she's an attorney. She can make in California, in San Francisco, $300, $500 an hour. I don't think you'd make that much by helping victims of human trafficking. If you make any money, why do you do that?
I don't make any money doing that. I still practice law on the side. I do this because I only have one life, and I think that I go to sleep happy every night because I am seeing this incredible change in people who deserve it. I actually believe very truly that there are a number of untapped geniuses in our community that we're ignoring because they're racial minorities or because they're women, that they have this incredible economic productivity. And so, being given the choice of giving my sweat equity to a tech startup that's gonna get a helicopter to you faster than anybody else and doing this work, I think that there's actually more economic growth in these people than anything that venture capitalists are looking at now. So that's what I'm investing in.
And she actually, I saw her leading the more panel discussion, empowering youth against sex crime. So she's very passionate, okay? And I saw her at Google HTML5 in San Francisco, where a lot of enthusiasts actually was helping you to create website and do some other sort of classes and coding. I almost learned that myself, so.
Yeah, the tech community, we're in a symbiotic relationship with the tech community here. They're not only helping us train our students, offering volunteers to help with their projects and help with guest lectures, they're also hiring them to do contract work ranging from data entry and testing all the way up to front-end development. So they are themselves driving some of that economic power that software is creating here in the Bay Area into the hands of human trafficking survivors and helping them rebuild their lives too. So the more tech companies that want to jump on that bandwagon, the happier we are to have them.
And of course, I think those who went through a lot in their life, they are more dedicated and probably have more heart and hopefully more passion still, despite, because they understand what you can go through and still survive and be willing to work. If that's what you see.
That's what we see every day. Ironically, even before we started doing this, it was demonstrated that the key driver to success as a software programmer is grit, is that keeping going when something seems difficult or hard. And naturally, by definition, this population, people who have survived slavery, who have come out of it on top, who are ready to ask the what's next question in their lives, these people have incredible grit. We're just leveraging it, giving them the opportunity to use it in software. But even more than that, we're seeing people grow from, I just want to make some money, I just want to build a life for myself, I want to support myself, to I actually want to make a change in my community. I want to build a website that helps people understand the reality of what these women are going through. I want to build products that help keep kids in activities and out of trafficking, and all of the ideas that come from these women are amazing. And I really believe that we are growing a new crop of entrepreneurs, a new kind of entrepreneur that's going to change the world, more than we will ourselves.
So what do we expect on September 22nd, 2016 at headquarters of Twitter company?
I think you expect both the cheapest and the best nonprofit gala you've seen in a long time. So we'll be techie, we'll keep it casual. We have an amazing musical performer who has just recorded her first album, McKinley Smith. She's going to welcome the room. We're going to have food, we're going to have drinks, we're going to see some of the student projects, we're going to talk about what we do and why. We're going to let people in the room ask questions, their hardest questions they possibly can, but make sure everybody leaves full and happy and has a good time understanding that there's more to this tech world than just what you see on Silicon Valley HBO.
And then, of course, if you want to help, please check it out, anycannons.org, right?
org and .com are both ours, so you can go to either one.
And get your tickets, follow up with them. They're doing great events every month, every other day. You had an event today?
Yes. Always trying to get into the community. I know there are a lot of women in this community that want to help with this problem in particular, help economically empower women. So we're always building alliances, building coalitions, other nonprofits, funders, community members, everybody. The idea is to bring people together to solve what is one of the world's biggest problems, and not the biggest problem. So.
Wow, what a passion. It's about 10 o'clock right now, Wednesday, and she was walking all the way to Nob Hill, and we have been very busy all day, and of course you have been very busy teaching your victims of human trafficking to be powerful. And what's your goal in life?
I would like to start a change engine that lives well beyond me. I hope that 3 or 4 generations from now, there are anti-cannons operations popping up all over the world that are run by women from those countries where they're popping up, that understand those cultures and that adapt very, very agilely to those cultures and the local situation there, so that we can really make a difference and frankly put more money in the pockets of women worldwide, because we know that's really what's going to change communities from the inside out.
Can you tell more a little bit about Annie Cannons? Who is she?
Annie Cannon. So Annie Cannon is this amazing figure that no one's heard of. We didn't want to name our organization after something about slavery or freedom because we want to talk about the future. And Annie Cannon just really jumped out at us, her story. She worked at the Harvard Observatory in the early 20th century, a deaf woman who was cataloging the spectral emission patterns of stars. And she realized, hey, these all fall into 12 categories. I'm only seeing 12 things over and over again. And she worked with this group of other women who made a number of amazing discoveries on their own. One of them was to take Annie's categories and say, these actually represent the life cycle and composition of stars. And they wrote up this amazing paper, and they submitted it to Charles Pickering, who was a very famous astronomer at the time. He said, you're crazy, go be a housewife. Stars are made of the same thing humans are. And about 4 or 5 years later, he realized that we're right. It became the core astronomy textbook for probably 40 years, and still no one really knows their name, but the innovation that they made through collaboration truly changed the world for good, and that's what we want to do too, so that's what we named ourselves.
And of course, I saw her, not only women were sitting in those meetings, also men who were coding and doing all kinds of amazing stuff. So yeah, anybody welcome, right?
Anybody's welcome, we love everyone.
Any age and any status, please welcome.
Yeah, we always want to have children involved. Children are a part of families, and we support families. So kids are welcome at the event of all ages, and obviously we won't serve them alcohol.
And while in the end of this particular segment, because we're going to come and follow up on September 22nd, and we're going to do a program about this for Comcast channels and also for social media, what would be your desire or wishes to our wonderful supporters here on
I would love to see your faces and meet you guys at the event. But if I can't, I hope that you'll talk about the fact that this really works. This is really an opportunity that we have to make a huge difference in the lives of these women who in the past were going in and out of shelters 3, 7, 12 times without ever changing their lives. And now they are happy, healthy, and building new careers for themselves with their own power. And so I hope that you will elevate them. If you don't talk about it in cannons, talk about the power that they have. Maybe visit survivors.io, which is a student-built web app that is a crowdsourced map to collect real data about sexual assaults.
All right, until then, Olga Midig, Jessica Hubley at amycannons.org and .com.